today's video. I am back in the kitchen after what seems like months, because that is literally true. The last time I did a cooking video, I think, was back in November. So I am waiting for my pizza delivery, and I thought, what better thing to go with pizza that I'm paying someone to deliver to my house than to actually cook something manually? Seems kind of besides the point, but I'm going to be making buffalo cauliflower wings. You might have seen these around. I'm obviously vegan, so I don't eat actual chicken wings, but buffalo cauliflower wings are great. I've served them to like people who eat chicken wings, and it's a really nice way to enjoy cauliflower. It can be really unhealthy too, though. I see a lot of recipes online that use tons of butter, and we're not doing that. We're doing like the healthy version, the kind that you won't feel bad about yourself eating on a Thursday afternoon while you wait for your pizza to arrive. So I'm measuring out half a cup of flour and half a cup of milk. So what I'm doing right now, I really don't have a lot of space. I am making a batter to dunk the cauliflower chunks into. This is going to be enough for 2 people, so it's an equal amount of milk and flour, very easy to remember. Half a cup gets you through enough cauliflower for 2 people, so it's very easy to scale in your brain. So I love recipes that I don't actually need a recipe for. And that's what we're doing here. I'm not going to measure the spices or anything. I might add a little bit of milk if this looks dry, but I'm going to add something like half a teaspoon of garlic powder, because I like it garlicky. I'm going to cut back on salt. So I'm going to try to compensate for the lack of salt with using other flavors to kind of boost it up a little bit. And I'm going to put about half a teaspoon or so of paprika and top it all off with a little bit of salt, not too much. Just a pinch, that's probably 1/8 of a teaspoon, and some black pepper, lots of it. So I like putting a pinch of salt in the batter because we are going to be tossing this later with really, really salty buffalo sauce. So there's going to be lots of salt on the outside, but having a little bit of salt a little bit closer to the cauliflower is going to make it taste better. So I'm just stirring up the batter. It looks really thick, so I'm just going to add a tiny, tiny bit more milk. We don't want it too thin. I want it to be thick enough that we get like a nice coating on every cauliflower chunk. If it's too thin, it doesn't really coat it properly. So this is about right. You can kind of see, it's sort of the texture of pancake batter is what we're going for here. Enough to create a thin layer, but it's not like really dense. So now that I have my batter made, I'm going to set that to the side really dramatically. And I'm going to cut some cauliflower. So I'm going to take, I'll just show you how I would cut a cauliflower. I'm going to take a half, like this is like half a cauliflower I have here still attached to the stem. So just a little cauliflower cutting technique. Always cut from the stem, because what happens is if you cut from the florets, they spill everywhere and it makes a big mess. They still spill everywhere and make a big mess anyway. You cannot avoid the mess, but we can slightly reduce the mess. So I'm going to cut this into a quarter, take this half, make it a quarter by slicing straight down the stem, and then it kind of just like peels apart. So now I have a cauliflower quarter. Look at that. I'm going to cut at a triangle to basically liberate the cauliflower from the green part. And now I have a nice usable chunk of cauliflower. So what we're going for with these wings, very loosely named, is big bite-sized pieces. So you want like a nice enough chunk of cauliflower that it's just like you want a good like cauliflower to batter ratio. I don't like really tiny pieces of cauliflower and a lot of batter. I guess actually that'd be kind of delicious, but we're making this healthier. So I'm just slicing it from the stem towards the floret in pieces that I think are like reasonably bite-sized. So this is a pretty big cauliflower, but from a quarter of that cauliflower, I'm getting, I don't know, something like 8 chunks of cauliflower. I want a little bit more, so I'm just going to rip off another piece. I think having about a dozen chunks of cauliflower is enough for 2 people, especially when that's not the only thing you're eating. So another appetizer that I've done before alongside this is edamame. So in parties of the past, I have served edamame and pod alongside cauliflower buffalo wings at 1 a.m. after lots of drinking, and that is a very good drinking snack. So now what I'm doing is I'm just liberally coating the cauliflower in the batter, dunking it on a parchment paper lined baking pan. My oven is currently preheating to 425, and I'm just going to lay them out in pretty much a flat layer. The amount of batter I made should be enough to coat all of these cauliflower pieces. So this is where recruiting a child to help is a good idea. This is definitely something that my 3-year-old is capable of doing. Getting her hands messy in some batter, dunking it, kind of like coating the cauliflower. Totally a good activity with a small child. She also really likes to like stir the batter as well. She really, really likes making batter. Hopefully I'll have enough to cover all these cauliflower pieces. I think we're going to make it, guys. And then as far as how long we cook it, so the next couple steps is I'm going to pop this in the oven for about 20 minutes or so. Maybe I'll actually keep track of it because I usually just wing it and go by feel. But about 20 minutes in the oven, just like this. Then I'll take them out and I'll pour some buffalo sauce on them. And then I will... This is how good I am at multitasking. Like trying to talk and coat cauliflower, you guys. This is a really... I'm going to like have to have a nap after this. This is a lot of mental effort. But then, yeah, so we toss it with the buffalo sauce after they've been in the oven for about 20 minutes. And then they bake for another 10 minutes or so, just enough for the buffalo sauce to get nice and baked into the cauliflower. And then we eat, and that is that. And if you are feeling decadent, you dunk it in some ranch dressing. I am not going to be doing that. I'm just going to be eating them as like plain bites because I'm attempting to be healthy as I wait for my pizza. You can clearly see that my... look at this hand. My decision to be healthy is going really well so far. So anyway, that's all. I think I have about 12 bites on there. 13 actually, because I know how to count. My toddler can also count to 13. So like mother, like daughter. I'm going to get this in the oven and we'll check back in after they've been baking for about 20 minutes. All right, I'm going to pull these out of the oven and toss them with some buffalo sauce. So I just make sure I also don't burn myself. Oh yeah, they're looking nice and golden. I'm not really going to measure these. I would probably estimate somewhere around 2 tablespoons, but I'll just do like a fast drizzle. I'm trying to coat them a little bit, something like that. And then I am going to use a spatula and my bare hands like a maniac to kind of get these a little bit coated. And I'm also using a couple pieces of parchment paper, which makes this a little more slippery and slidey. Slippy and slidey. Woo! All right, so I feel like most of that's been covered with a little bit of buffalo sauce. I'll pop it back in for about 10 more minutes, and then we should be ready to eat. All right, time to pull this out of the oven. We should be good to go. I've got my pizza here and ready. Just going to go really nicely with this roasted buffalo cauliflower. There it is from the oven. I'm gonna just scoop a few pieces to put on my plate, and then I'll come up there and I will show you how good this looks. There you can see the buffalo cauliflower, the nice big bite-sized pieces. There is my beautiful pizza ready to be eaten. Thanks so much for watching me make snack food. I am going to hop off now and enjoy it. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday, and I'll catch up with you later.